welcome to the Groomsman. I'm Fayez, I'll be your host today. We've got a nice shave today. I'm going to be doing a side-by-side and using a newer soap that was just released. I think it was a re-release, so we'll get into that. But first, drink of the day is, sorry, one second. I'm on call, so I have to make sure I see my notifications. Peach Mango V8 energy drink. It has like 80 milligrams of caffeine. It's not that much, but you know, you get your veggies and stuff, so good stuff. Yeah, I'm on call. Hopefully I don't get called in right now. I mean, I want to get called in throughout the weekend, you know, it's get to help people out and stuff. One second. Sorry about that, I'm back. Just some messages from the hospital, but I'm not getting called in. I'm gonna go ahead and take a sip of this now. I don't think I've had this before. It's really good, actually. This is really smooth and it's somewhat sweet, but it's not overly sweet. Okay. And the stuff that we're gonna use today is 2 titanium razors that I'm doing head-to-head on. I've never used both of these side by side. I've been using the titanium Merica that Yates made and released recently. I've been using it all week. And then you guys know I love my Yates 921 titanium. This is in the EH. I have the H plate, which would be a closer comparison to the Merica, but that's in stainless steel. I want to do a full titanium versus titanium. I'll put the gap information and exposure. I know the gap of the Merica is 0.21 and the exposure is neutral. The exposure is positive. I don't remember the exact number of the Yates 921, and it is a larger blade gap. Again, don't remember the number, so I'll put that right there. The Merica is about 54 grams on my scale, and the 921 titanium is 49 grams on my scale. And both have brand new Gillette Platinums, so should be pretty good shave. And we'll wet the neck and put a little bit more water in the lather. So this soap and aftershave that I'm using today is a really nice one. It was just re-released by Phoenix Shaving, and it's called Doppelganger Plum. I've got my camera set up a little differently because my magnetic back on my phone broke, so I can't use my original setup that I was using for a while. So I've got it back on a tripod stand, which is annoying because it gets in the way. But anyway, back to the soap. It's Doppelganger Plum, which is based on Tom Ford's Plum Japonais. And this is what the label looks like. I got the hologram, which is cool. And the splash. So I really like it. It comes off very plum forward. And I'll talk about it as I shave. I'm going to do the Merica on this side. It comes off very plum forward. Sweet, tart, you know, fruity a little bit. It's not like overly fruity. It's more fresh. But it's got some tartness to it too from the plum. And then as you keep smelling it, it's got more depth to it. I know with the splash, super smooth by the way. I know with the splash, I'm going to switch to the 921. Phoenix Shaving splashes are really like EDPs or colognes almost. So you get the full experience of the scent with that. And once you put the splash on, it starts off with the top notes of plum and those brighter notes. But as it dries down, it gets darker. It's actually really nice, really interesting. It gets darker and you get that smoky oud really, really strongly in my opinion. It's definitely smoky, which is a difference that Douglas did compared to the Tom Ford version. Because Tom Ford's note just says oud as the base, as part of the base. But Douglas changed it to make it a smoky oud. And I mean, you can definitely get that. And I personally love smoky scents. And with this, it works really well because you start off with a really somewhat fruity, bright top scent, and then it slowly mellows down into the darker base with vanilla and the smoky oud and the amber. And it's really, really nice how it contrasts. I'm gonna stay on this side with the 921. I love both of these razors. The 921 has been my number 2 razor for a while now. This EH plate is super smooth. I mean, it doesn't feel aggressive. You get some blade feel, and it's very efficient, but it's not menacing at all. Especially with it being light from titanium. I had the full stainless steel version of this razor, and I liked it a lot. But I didn't need both, and I prefer the titanium for my head shaves. So I kept the titanium one. Alright, back to this side. Honestly, they feel very similar. They're different in some ways because you do get a little bit more blade feel with the 921, and you are more likely to catch a bump or two if you're not paying attention. With the 921, with the EH specifically, because of the bigger blade gap. I mean, look at the blade gap difference on these two. I don't know if it'll pick it up, but you see that. You'll fit my whole nostril in there. And the gap on that is so much smaller. So, it's definitely noticeable. But they're both pretty efficient, actually, considering how smooth they feel. The price differences, I think the 921 was the way that it's built for me. It's machine finished. I polished it, but it came as a machine finished, no engraving. I think the base plate, the base plate is scalloped. I think it was in the 220, 230 range once it's built like this. And again, the Merica, the as machine finish that I got, it has the titanium engraving, but that's included in the price. It doesn't matter if you get that or no engraving. It was $170, so it's about 40, 50 bucks. Somewhere in there, maybe 60 bucks cheaper. Yeah, because I think the 921 was around 225, 230. And then the Merica was 170. The cool thing is, one thing that people don't like about the 921 head is you've got that recessed base plate, so only specific handles can fit in there, which you can still find many handles. Razor Rock handles tend to fit in there, and some other ones, but with the Merica, it's not recessed. The threading is really nice on there. So you can fit any handle on there as long as the threading matches. I think they do a 10 by 32 thread. They don't do the normal threading that a lot of places use. Very smooth. I think for most people, so for me, this 921 is, I mean, I use aggressive razors daily anyway. But, and I can definitely tell it has more blade feel um, with this Yates 921. But the Merica might be more suitable for many more people as a daily or every other day. I mean, you can use it with several days growth, I'm sure. But the 921 EH will make it even easier to go through. If you're shaving once a week or twice a week or whatever, these razors can serve different functions if you want them. But honestly, this is the 921 EH or H will be gentle enough to use every day, in my opinion, or on a couple days of growth. The Merica, definitely for every day. You can probably use it on a few days growth. I think it depends on your growth. For me, once I get to like 3 or 4 days, I probably lean more towards the 921. I love both of them. And you guys saw my head shave, the Merica did great. So no clogging whatsoever. That new base plate design actually does make a difference, I noticed. Do a little bit of pickup. And do pickup with the Merica. The way that my hair grows at this angle down here. The scent strength on the soap is about a 6 to my nose. It definitely fills the room once you lather. The splash is really strong. I haven't decided if I'm going to get the EDP from Douglas. You can't get the Tom Ford anymore. They discontinued it. So you either get this from Douglas or you don't get it at all. So I might get that EDP just to have it. But honestly, the aftershave is so strong, I may not need it. I'm just going to use it a couple more times before I decide. I'm going to rinse off and come back with the post. Alright, rinse off with warm water and dry my face. And I'm just going to use a splash. It smells really nice. I'm very happy with that. Out of the bottle, I'll get some of the plum and actually some cinnamon. It smells really, really good and really spicy actually out of the bottle, more so than the tub of the soap. And it really quickly changes, it evolves. Now it's more ambery, more oudy, starting to get a little bit darker in this scent profile. Definitely get more amber. I like amber a lot. That's a nice scent. That's really, really nice. It's definitely more of a date night type scent for most people. I wear all sorts of scents every single day. I try to be careful when I'm at work because I'm around patients to wear lighter scents or less smoky scents like this, or just use very little of it. But weekends, date nights, this is perfect. So let me know what you guys think of this scent. If you got it, let me know if you guys got any of these razors. I like both of them a lot. I don't know where the Merica ranks in my top razors. I want it to be in the top 5, but it's very similar to the 921. So I don't know. But recap, side by side by both of these. There's no winner or loser. They're both great. So I guess I'm the winner. And I love both of them. Oh, the cool thing is, I just did that, like not even thinking about it. You can set them down on the, well, I can't do it on my hand, but you can set them down on the table, on their heads, because they're flat, they're perfectly flat, and it'll just sit perfectly. And for me, that gives me a little bit of extra room when I'm working with some extra stuff on the counter that I don't normally have. So those razors are what I used. Doppelganger Plum from PAA. It's based on Tom Ford Plum Japonais, which is a beautiful scent in my opinion. And the brush was the AKA Brushworks 345 collaboration for Rumpkin. One of my favorite brushes. I put a Venturian knot in here. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.